May God be with you all.
We've got some updates to go over, well, not really updates, we're going through the whole realm of interviews and stuff like that. We've done 3 interviews so far. We've done the Duchess 3-3 interview, we've done the WSMV interview of 3-4, and we've done the Fox 17 interview of 3-6. So 3, 4, and 6. Those were the March dates that these interviews were going on. And there were some things that were missing. I might write these down because I haven't been writing them down. We have no trash, no garbage. No garbage has been referenced in these 3 interviews. No garbage has been referenced. No leaving of the house has been referenced. No thud has been referenced. What else has not been so far, has not been stated or referenced so far? Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. The Real Me Too up in the house. It's nice to see you, my love. Jacqueline, it's nice to see you. Misty Moonlight, hey, hey, hey. Amanda, it's lovely to see you, my love. We got James in the house. It's nice to see you. Lori, Miss Holly, it's nice to see you. Dee's Mystery Obsessed, it's nice to see you guys here already. Della, it's nice to see you as well. We've been going through this list. Nothing has been referenced so far. We did get some clarifications that it appears that at least we know. We're going over some more information. What we are trying to do is break down everything we've heard so far. We took this case all the way back to February 26th, reviewing all of the news articles because we weren't involved in the case. We wanted to make sure that we had all of the updated information as it was progressing. Hey, Pebbles, it's nice to see you, my love. And we learned very early on that there was no sighting of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and no scent of any kind. As a matter of fact, Sumner County emergency guy, I can't remember, he says that in his 20/30 years, they have never not hit on anything. So this is a much different circumstances than his 20 or 30 years of experience tracking and all of this. So that's a little problematic. Then we start moving along, there's no interviews from mom or stepdad, there's no interviews, and then boom, all of a sudden, we have the Duchess interview, and we were not yet aware why. Well, the very next day, they publicly state that they are scaling back efforts, and this is now moving into an investigation. And then boom, that night, 4/4, they have the interview with WSMV. Then they get backlash from that, and so they decide to go with Fox 17, and they will not let them put their faces on camera. That's where we kind of left off. And in the same sense, we saw a interview with Seth. And Seth is basically saying, I just want my son home. I just want my son home. I just want my son home. Well, now we're still back in the arena. We're right about March 11th. And, a lot has gone on. Once they scaled back the search, they didn't really give us any more information about the case. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Nick Barris. This is a segment that he did related to Seth. I think it's just as important for us to watch Seth's behaviors as it is focusing on, oh, good gracious, I didn't know what I did. Focusing on just the mom and the stepdad. So without further ado, we're going to get right into this. And don't worry, for all the Justice for All fans out there, we're going to be ending right about the time that he begins, give or take just a few minutes. So bear with me, and I'll get you on your way to our beautiful Justin for All.
About the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from Sumner County. Today, the search continues. The case, though, we know is now a criminal investigation. Thanks for being with us at 6, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
Oh my gosh, what did we just hear? Holy smokies. Holy smokies. Okay, so now that we know why we hear what we hear, let's just go back and listen to that again, because I don't think the people in the back of the room heard loud enough. Let's see if we can get them to hear a little better. Guys, get the Q-tips for all the haters out there. Because we got the misinformation and disinformation campaigns out there. Let's listen to what the news said. Now, not the backpedaling of law enforcement now. Not the backpedaling of law enforcement. Let's just listen.
Exactly 2 weeks ago, we were just learning about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from Sumner County. Today, the search continues. The case, though, we know is now a criminal investigation. Thanks for being with us at 6, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Kelsey Gibson for Carrie tonight. For the first time, we're getting a look at family video of the missing 15-year-old. Sebastian's biological father gave it to Nick Barris for an exclusive on camera.
Did you guys hear that? Should we go back to 14? Let's see. Let's listen to it.
Investigation. Thanks for being with us at 6, everyone. We know is now a criminal investigation. Thanks for.
Oh, let's listen to that again just for the people in the back.
Which continues. The case, though, we know is now a criminal investigation. Thanks for being with us at 6, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Kelsey Gibson for Carrie tonight. For the first time, we're getting a look at family video of the missing 15-year-old. Sebastian's biological father gave it to Nick Barris for an exclusive on-camera interview.
Seth Rogers shares custody of his son, and the deputy with the Davidson County Sheriff's Department spent the past 2 weeks looking for Sebastian.
I'm hoping he's still alive. That's my main hope right now, is that he's not deceased. I mean, I keep praying that he's alive. I keep praying that somebody's going to see him. Somebody's going to call 911.
Seth's 15-year-old son disappeared barefoot and with a flashlight from his mother and stepfather's home in Hendersonville either late on Sunday, March 3rd or early that Monday. Seth knows the key to finding his son may come from a tip. Several photographs have already been made public, and now he's released 2 video clips of Sebastian. In this first one, you see Sebastian up front on the left in yellow shorts, participating in a tug-of-war with fellow students.
And if you watch, he got swung around at the end like a little rag doll, and it's like, well, he gave it his best.
The second video shows Sebastian walking at his middle school graduation.
I was very proud of him. I mean, he successfully completed something.
Seth says his son, who is autistic, is not a wanderer. He finds it highly unlikely Sebastian would leave in the middle of the night barefoot, based on an experience his son had as a child.
He decided that he wanted to step into a mound of what he thought was dirt, and it was fire ants. And since then, it's always been, he doesn't like to get his feet in the dirt. He likes to have his socks and shoes on.
Seth, I think that statement right there was very important for him to say, because at this point, there is a mom and stepdad that's trying to convince the world that this child walked out without his shoes on. And the father's like, wait a minute. I don't know my son of leaving the house without shoes ever since this incident. What do you mean he left the house without shoes? I think that's why, just my opinion, but I think that's why it was so important and why he made this statement is because in his mind, it didn't make sense to him. It doesn't make sense to anybody that has autistic children. It now doesn't make sense to me. Remember when we started this out, I had no clue. I had no clue one way or another whether or not, all autistic children wear shoes, if this was just something specific for Sebastian, is this, something common, and then that's when I started realizing, all these children have their own tics, have their own, likes and dislikes. They're not, there's no one specific item or behavior that they all exhibit other than the video games that I've seen so far, except they do have their overstimulation, like general things, overstimulation, meltdowns, some type of, other stuff, just, those types of things. But even those behaviors and stuff differ from child to child. They're not the same. So that's pretty interesting. So I just want you guys to hear this again.
It's his son had as a child.
He decided that he wanted to step into a mound of what he thought was dirt, and it was fire ants. And since then, it's always been, he doesn't like to get his feet in the dirt. He likes to have his socks and shoes on.
Seth won't rule out the possibility of foul play, that someone is involved in his son's disappearance.
He said that on day 11. Or excuse me, March 11th, not day 11, March 11th. He believed there was already foul play, and of course, this is something that law enforcement most likely does not want, out there in the public eye. But at the end of the day, the father felt some kind of way, and law enforcement wasn't was shutting down on him when he needed them the most. That's not a way you treat one of your own.
And if Sebastian is able, he says he needs to call for help.
He needs to call 911. And if somebody has him, you need to give him back. He's my son, and he doesn't belong to nobody, but damn it, he's mine. And he's mine.
Nick Barris.
I'm sorry. You know, you feel that emotion when he says he's mine. He's mine. Give him back. He's mine. You know, this is a father that's searching for his child. This is a father that's been searching for his child. Let's see how the second interview on Duchess went. Let's see if we can get that kind of emotion from the mom and stepdad. I don't really remember how this whole thing went, but we're going to be talking about it and discussing it. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to hear. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what we got going on here.
And I appreciate you taking the time to just come over here and do that.
You're welcome.
Just trying.
And notice that Seth always makes sure everybody sees his face. Hey, Cheeky Chops, it's nice to see you. I hope you're preparing for the hurricane. Is Helene coming? It's coming. I think you're going to get the better part of it. I think I'm not going to get bad, but I think it'll get pretty, it's going to get a little, like we already had a few bands come through here already from Helene. I don't know if you're getting them that far down, but we're definitely getting them here. So be careful out there. It doesn't look like it's going to be hitting you as hard as it's going to be hitting further north.
Trying to think where I want to start. I know there may be people that are watching or listening to this case. Everyone in the chat, if you would please, if you do have questions, the panel, Crystal, are.
Oh, and that reminds me, guys. So where are we? We didn't finish this. I've only got 3 things, and I know there was 5 things when we left the last time. I've got no garbage, no leaving of the house, no thud. There were a couple other things. That I forgot. Is Kathy in here? It's here. Remember when people requested FOIA request, got the email back that they denied, stating yes, I do. I said exactly. I absolutely do. But see, even with that, they're like, oh my gosh, it's fake. It's an investigation. You know, they tried to do word salad. I'm not a word salad chick. You know, I cut through the word salad. But you're absolutely right. I remember seeing that, and I think it was on one of Seth's PIs that did a record request that received that, and they decided to release that to the public. So, and then they're like, oh, it's just a typo. I'm like, no, it's not. Your behavior is criminal investigation. What we're seeing, all this was criminal behavior. So I've got 3. I need help here from the audience. So listen up. So we did, for all the ones that have been here for this chain of events related to the Sebastian Rogers case, the first 3 interviews, there was 3 things that we definitely know didn't happen. And 1 was the no garbage. 2 was not leaving, the mom not leaving the house. No thud. Oh, that's right. They called within immediately. Called Sumner County Sheriff's Office immediately. And we also knew about the 3-hour call where she was falling asleep. And somebody had brought up a good point. No on any cameras. No on any cameras. But I think they've maintained that throughout, even though we don't believe them in part. No on any cameras. Okay. I got that written down. Did I miss anybody? If we listened to all the interviews and read the post, hey, all may be on Facebook. We need to break this case wide open. Hey, we're trying. We're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. We're praying and hoping something pops out at us. You know what I'm saying? We're praying and hoping that something pops out at us. Okay, so now we're back to Duchess. They just came on here. Right now the list is no garbage, no leaving of the house, no thud. Called Sumner County immediately, and no on any cameras in home. So we've got those down. Picking up the niece, right now we don't have that. Oh, I guess we could say that. No picking up of other family. No, I'll just say no other family, because right now we only heard that it's just mom and son. So I'm just going to say no other family referenced. Thank you. Picking up niece. Thank you, Chris. Anything else that we missed so far? Thank you, Pebbles. I think that's it. Okay, so now let's go on ahead and go into this interview. We've got our list. No garbage being taken out. Mom did not leave the house. No thud. Called Sumner County immediately. No on any cameras in the home, and no other family members referenced so far in the 3 interviews we have. The 3 interviews that we have discussed. Oh, hold on. Shirley says KP in one of those said she woke up at 10 p.m. to put the dogs away. I think that's wrong, because she said in the first Duchess interview she fell asleep around 10 but didn't wake up until closer to midnight, and that's when Chris was telling her to go to bed and put the dogs away. But let's listen to how this one goes. Let's see what is added. I'm getting a new sticky note. Actually, what are my long form ones? Give me just a second. No, I got a pad of paper right here, so I'll write on that if it starts getting lengthy. All right, let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's see what's missing.
Rick and I have some questions and things that we are going to, we're just going to ask Chris. We've seen some people asking questions. So we want to ask our own questions. We want to just make sure that things that were asked from the very beginning, to make sure that we've covered all of those things. And this may be answering the question that you have. And once we have went through some of those questions, we will take some questions from the chat. And I just ask that if your question has already been answered by Chris in the live stream, that we may skip over your question, because I don't want to have to make him continue to re-answer the same question, over and over. So we're going to start out with some questions from the panel, and then we will hop over to the chat, and we'll have Chris to see if he'll answer some questions from you guys. So we appreciate everyone for your patience, and we just ask that you show respect, and just kindness goes a long way, and we appreciate that. Let me get over here. I'd made myself a couple of notes. So,
Hey, B. Oakley. Hey, Rod. Hey, Betty. It's nice to see you, my love.
I hope Sebastian's mom is okay. I know this has been very difficult for her.
Well, she's right here beside me, so she can hear every single thing.
Hey, Katie. I appreciate you being here and listening. You are in our thoughts and prayers, and I know this must be so very difficult for you. And I'm just praying for your strength. We have a lot of amazing people.
And been a part of this from the start to current.
Y'all are very much appreciated in the chat. You have to know that it means so much. Sometimes, and we'll.
Kid crafts from Lowe's and Home.
He likes to fish.
Let's go back. Okay, sorry.
Besides gaming, what are other things that Sebastian likes to do?
Here's some likes.
He likes to fish. He likes to play on playgrounds.
We get the little kid crafts from Lowe's and Home Depot, so he likes to build little things with me.
That's really cool. And you said that Sebastian didn't really have a lot of friends. He didn't really have any friends. He has a couple of friends at school.
Hey, Dee Dee,
do you
nice
think
to
it's
see you.
possible that, and which you told me before you didn't think so, but do you think there's any way possible that he could have met a friend online, either at school or at his father's or at your house? Do you think that's possible in any way?
There's always a possibility. That is a question that I cannot.
Katie was just about to answer, and he just overrides everything that she says. Listen to that. Hold on. He wasn't there, right? His story has been maintained. He wasn't there, allegedly, right? The only thing we hear is that he won't answer. He's been told this. He's been told that. Everybody else can talk, but for some reason, his whereabouts 3.5 hours away are so detrimental to this case. I bet they are. I bet they are. Just saying. But listen to this.
In any way?
There's always a possibility. That is a question that I cannot. There's always a possibility that the child can do something. Now, from my best recollection, mom's best recollection, and the father's best recollection, not that we know of. Our house, as we've stated, it is strict. It stays locked down with that kind of situation.
We use internet time and gaming as like a positive reinforcement rather than a free access.
So they're saying no gaming at their house. No gaming except for positive reinforcement. But we've heard, let's just say, from Seth, that it appeared that every time Sebastian, or a lot of the times Sebastian went to his house, he seemed to be in trouble or grounded by the stepfather. 15 years old.